AMC stock is about to make a massive run to the upside. There is now hedge funds, institutions, and money managers talking about this very thing. And as retail investors that have likely been in AMC for a long time, you need to know what is being said and what is currently being talked about, especially when it has to do with large money that quite frankly has more information than we do. So we're going to talk about that. We are also going to get into the Ortex data, the Stocko tracker data, all of that you guys need to know. But I do want to highlight earnings. AMC earnings are next week on Tuesday, and you are seeing stocks flying to the upside in spite of bad earnings. All these companies have to say is that 2023 is either off to a good start or give you some good guidance. So we'll talk about that, my expectations from next week with AMC stock. On top of all of that information, if that was not enough, you do have major economic data coming out tomorrow that will throw a wrench in what is said in this video. The markets will likely move pretty big coming tomorrow. So we got a lot to talk about. The work is cut out for us. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. And now let's get straight into it. So first things first, AMC stock, it was a weird day. AMC was up 5-6% around 230, and you ended the day down 0.5% in regular trading, down 0.5% in after hours, but that does not take away from the fact that AMC is very technically bullish. Now, this is why hedge funds are getting bullish on AMC. It's really coming down to a technical trade. I don't think a lot of them look at this fundamentally and say, hey, AMC is there yet. I think that could kind of add to it. You get bullish technicals, you get what's going to be a bullish outlook from AMC, and a more clear path to getting to a sustainable fundamental business model, right, where they're not losing money, maybe able to make some money. You add those two things together, add on a high short interest, high cost of borrow rates, all of that, AMC looks very much primed for an upside rally, and hedge funds specifically are talking about this line, this descending level of resistance. Ever since June of 2021, when you got this rally, every time after the stock tried to rally, it came down and got rejected at this level, and some days it would hold above it, usually would get batted down intraday. Usually you didn't close above this line, even though you did once right here and once right here in August of 2022. You have not closed above this more than 2 days in a row. Well, what happened today is you actually got your third straight close above this line, and this line is starting to go down in price. So really by tomorrow, it's going to be about $5.55 per share. So you're actually getting higher above this line, just with AMC stock staying sideways, right? Just staying pinned, you're starting to get the stock above this level by a higher margin. Hopefully that makes some sense. Now, why this is important is because this line showed a long-term downtrend. When you break above a long-term downtrend, you don't tend to just go up a little bit. You tend to go up a lot, and that's what people are starting to talk about in regards to AMC. Now look at all of these green dots. You're starting to get all kinds of bullish indicators, and this makes a lot of sense heading into earnings. And I want everyone to be clear with AMC earnings. Fundamentals, they're not going to be the sole reason why a rally happens, right? If you have good fundamentals and you have no short interest, in theory you had no option activity, no interest in the stock, you're not going to get a short squeeze based off of nothing. That's to put this into context. So fundamentals, they're not the sole thing that you should worry about or you know, look forward to, but the fundamentals have been improving, and the market condition that you are in now is very much a rewarding one to companies with better fundamentals, and AMC is getting better and better fundamentals. So in this market environment, if a company can just say, hey, 2023 is going to be a pretty good year and give you some good guidance, well, these stocks, they're ripping on earnings. And I think that is going to obviously be AMC. 35% more movies are going to theaters in 2023 than 2022. And AMC should have a clear path to becoming profitable, or at least not losing so much money. And I think ultimately that is going to be a huge factor on if shorts cover on their short positions. Because after all, if you were wrong on a stock and the fundamentals just didn't deteriorate or they got better, this was like the case for Tesla, right? Let's go there. Tesla, everyone shorted Tesla like years ago, right? 2018, 2019. It was the thing to short Tesla. Tesla was the most shorted stock in the markets for years. And that was because the fundamentals, the expectations were high, right? People expected a lot out of Tesla. And people were like, yeah, they're not going to get that fundamentally speaking. And then they did. And then ultimately you got just a what felt like multi-year short squeeze within Tesla stock. Now, I think AMC would be more explosive, obviously, but same concept. Fundamentals kind of catching up to the actual share price of AMC is, no matter which way you put it, a positive thing. And I think we're going to get a lot of positives coming on AMC earnings, and this market environment is more rewarding to companies, especially that were unprofitable in 2022, that can even show a path to getting profitable in 2023. You don't even have to come out and be profitable. Half these companies are losing massive amounts of money still, but they're giving you good guidance. They're saying, hey, 2023 is going to be good. We could see us being profitable by 2023, 2024. Stocks are ripping. And I think AMC is not going to be the exception to that rule in 2023 so far when it comes down to earnings. So you really mix these two factors together, and it's hard to be bearish on AMC. I don't care how much you dislike the stock. It's hard to be bearish on that overall concept, especially heading into earnings, especially fundamentals improving. And where the market dynamic is at right now, the markets want to be bullish, and they want to, push up stocks that have been destroyed over the past year or two. And I think that's what's going to happen on AMC earnings. Obviously, nothing's a guarantee. I'm not a financial advisor. This is simply what hedge funds and money managers are talking about out there. And it's very easy to see this. You could literally Google search for some of these articles, or go on Bloomberg if you know someone with a Bloomberg terminal. They're talking about it, right? And you can see it even reflected in the price action of AMC. Like we've seen today, it was very bullish at one point, and then obviously you kind of got attacked towards the last 2 hours of the trading day, where you've seen a lot of short activity. If we take a look at the Ortex data, take a look at the option activity, 416 orders on the day, $61 million worth of option activity, positive order value of 10%. So you can see right there was a lot of option activity, and virtually none of it was bullish. And this goes into, like what I mentioned in the last video, that hedge funds are using the option activity to make it look like the short interest is not as high as it is, to make it look like they do not have short positions. In all reality, they have a massive amount of short positions. But who would want to, let retail get excited heading into major catalyst and let them think the short interest is 40%. 23% sounds a lot better than 40% if you are short in a stock, especially one that gets a lot of retail activity like AMC. So long story short, I do think you're getting just batted down intraday like we've seen today with a lot of those bearish options, because those orders are like over $1 million a piece, what we've seen over the past couple of days. So it's hard to kind of take that out of the equation to continue with the bullish momentum when that does happen. Now, it will break eventually when there is good news, when the fundamentals do align and trading algorithms start to actually help, bid up the stock a little bit more. Now, if we take a look at AMC, the live short interest of free float sitting at 23.32%, 120 million shares currently sold short. Cost to borrow average 522%, cost to borrow max 855%, and cost to borrow minimum at 1.04%. AMC is still on the threshold securities list, and as of today, February 23rd, you did see about 1.5 million FTDs that were supposed to be covered. Tomorrow, you're going to get about 1.4 million, and then next week, as you guys do know, you have like 2 to 3 million FTDs every single day, especially Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. You're over 3 million FTDs all pretty much all of those days. If you average out those 3 days, you're at about 3 million every single day. So I do think there is still a lot of positive momentum to come as far as the FTDs are concerned. And if you guys seen the last video, then you definitely seen this as well. The option activity for March 17th is out of this world. Over 1 million puts out of the money, 284,000 puts that are currently in the money. On the call side, 583,000 calls out the money and 69,000 calls currently in the money. Now, when I boil this down, I won, obviously, like we've talked about many times, sound like a broken record at this point. I think this is where a lot of the short interest is actually being hidden on the option chain. It is for March 17th. But when I boil all of this down to think, what does this really mean for the price of AMC going ahead into the future? And I think it's just going to make it a lot more volatile, right? I mean, 1 million for option activity for on the put side, out of the money puts, that's as many as 100 million shares that could be moved by just the out the money puts. In the money puts, I mean, you're up there too. 28.4 million just based off of 284,000 puts in the money. Now on the call side as well, there's almost 600,000 calls out the money. That is potentially 60 million shares that could, in theory, have to be bought by the market makers. So even a slight move up or down going, from strike to strike is going to give you a lot of volume. It's going to give you a lot of activity within AMC stock. So there you have that. Now, on another note, you do have Cinmark earnings that do come out tomorrow, and that is going to be pre-market on Friday. That could be big. Now, it just depends what they have to say. I think they're going to be in pretty much unison with AMC. They're going to say 2023 is going to be a good year. They're going to talk about the path to profitability. They're going to talk about a lot of the same things that AMC is going to talk about. So I don't know if you'll get a big impact off of that, but it is possible. So I wanted to put it here in this video. So there is all of that. As far as the economic data that does come out tomorrow, personal income month over month for January, you are expecting 0.7%. Last month's reading was positive 0.2%. So you are expecting personal income to go up by quite a bit. Personal spending month over month for January, you're expecting that to go up by 1.1%. Last month was negative 0.2%. And core PCE price index month over month for January, you're expecting that to go up by 0.3%. Last month it went up by 0.3%. There is some people talking about this could go up by 0.5% or 0.7%, and that would be kind of your worst case scenario. And I would expect to see a very big drop in the markets if that were to happen, guys. So that is going to be all for this video. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Source your comments, questions, or concerns down below in the comment section. Most importantly, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one.